Hey, what's up, you guys? Swan here from Swan Things, and today I'll be talking about one of my least favorite investment instruments, and that will be fixed deposits. Now, this might be controversial, but I personally hate fixed deposits. I know a lot of people put a lot of money in fixed deposits because they're such a safe investment, but is it really worth investing in? So in this video, I'll be breaking down everything you need to know about fixed deposits, including how they work, how do you calculate returns, are they worth it, and if not, what are your alternatives? So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So basically, a fixed deposit is an agreement between you and the bank whereby you deposit a certain amount of money with the bank and promise them you won't take it out for a certain period of time. And in return, at the end of the fixed deposit period, the bank returns all your money plus a certain amount in interest. The total return on your fixed deposits is calculated simply by multiplying the annual interest rate with your total deposit and the tenure of your deposit divided by 12 months. Generally, there are two major types of fixed deposits you can go for here in Malaysia, and that would be conventional fixed deposits or Islamic fixed deposits. The main difference here is that the Islamic fixed deposits follow Sharia principles and so are halal products. Non-Muslims can also use Islamic FDs, which usually give you a higher return. There are also some gimmicky FDs like step-up fixed deposits that give you what looks like higher interest rates near the end of the fixed deposit term, but a quick calculation will show that the total return you get is pretty much standard. Another one of these promotional fixed deposits could be a CASA-linked FD, where the banks offer you a higher interest rate on your fixed deposits if you also promise to place a certain portion of your money into their current or savings accounts. Don't be fooled, because this portion of money earns a much lower interest rate, and so in total, you're not really getting a higher interest rate on your entire deposit. So moral of the story, if the fixed deposit interest rate sounds too good to be true, it probably is. With all these fixed deposits, the total return is fixed and your capital is guaranteed, making them one of the safest investment instruments out there. On top of that, the interest rates offered by fixed deposits are usually slightly higher than conventional savings accounts. It's one of those investment instruments that even a 12-year-old could make, because you really don't need to do too much research to get guaranteed returns on your money. But that's where the benefits end. Now let's talk about its disadvantages. So one of my biggest issues with fixed deposits is its low returns. The interest rates offered by fixed deposits are tied to the overnight policy rate, or OPR. The OPR is simply the interest rate that banks will charge other banks when they lend money to them overnight. In times of economic crisis, the central bank can choose to cut or lower the OPR, which makes it cheaper to borrow money. But at the same time, this lowers interest on savings like fixed deposits, which means that you earn less on your savings. The current OPR of 1.75% is the lowest in history, and that means fixed deposit rates are terrible right now. In fact, if you look through the comparisons, the highest fixed deposit rates you can get is around 2.45%. And that means for every 10,000 ringgit you put in a fixed deposit, you get a measly 245 ringgit back. Yay! The other issue with fixed deposits is its many restrictions. Obviously, you're not allowed to take out money from your fixed deposits whenever you want, unless you want to lose out on part or all of your interest on your capital. Another thing to take note of is that the interest rate offered by your fixed deposit is agreed upon before you deposit any money. After you make your deposit, even if the OPR rate increases and new higher fixed deposit rates are introduced, you do not get to benefit from the higher interest rates because you are locked into your previous fixed deposit agreements. For regular savers, fixed deposits are also quite limited because you can't top up your FD every single month, unlike in other investments. This is relatively inefficient because that means your additional savings every month won't be able to be instantly invested to generate income. Another issue with FDs is the minimum deposit. Now, if you're going for higher FD rates, usually you would either have to be a premier customer or you have to agree to deposit a larger amount of capital. So while you're trying to save up for the minimum deposit, your money just sits there being unproductive and you are losing out on opportunity cost. If you compare saving up for a fixed deposit versus putting more of that money into the EPF every month, you'll be earning 283.5 ringgit for the fixed deposit versus 801.4 by putting it into the EPF under the same conditions. So with all its pros and cons in mind, I would say that at least for me, the only scenario that fixed deposits make sense is as a safe place to store my emergency funds. Even when we talk about emergency funds, I think there are much better options out there. So the first option I would recommend is to put your money into Stashaway Simple. Stashaway Simple is pretty much just like an FD except without its many disadvantages. There's no minimum or maximum deposit amount, and you have the freedom to deposit or withdraw money to and from that account at any given time without losing out on any interest. In terms of safety, Stashaway is extremely low risk. They state that you have a 99% chance of not losing more than 1.8% of your entire deposit at any given time. As for their returns, if their rates fall below the projected rate of 2.4%, they may choose to reimburse you to match the projected rate. But the projected rate can also go up, and in that case, you stand to earn more interest on your money. Now, Stashaway Simple is also Sharia compliant, so Muslims may also invest in peace. Needless to say, I think Stashaway Simple is a competitive product that offers all the benefits of an FD minus many of its disadvantages. So if you'd like to check it out, I'll leave a link down in the description below. Another great alternative to FDs is to invest in fixed price funds offered by Amanah Saham. Now, if you are bumi, the obvious choice is to go with ASB. But if you're non-bumi like me, you're only limited to 3 Amanah Saham Malaysia funds or ASM. The great thing about these funds is that your capital is guaranteed and they offer a much higher return on your money compared to fixed deposits. The historical rate offered is around 6%. Now, just like Stashaway Simple, these funds let you deposit and withdraw your money at any given time, so you have much higher liquidity. So in order to open an ASM account, you need to put in a minimum of 10 ringgit with a minimum of 100 ringgit for every additional investment you make. Now, the only problem with these highly liquid, high return and capital guaranteed funds is that there is a limited quota for the number of units available for non-bumi races. So even if you have the cash ready, you might not get your hands on any of these units because people are often not willing to sell off theirs. So if you want to try your luck to buy any of these ASM funds, I'll leave a link down below on how you could do that online through your local bank. Alright, so that's all I have for you today. Now, fixed deposits are super safe investments, but to me, they offer very little advantages in wealth building because of their super low returns and many restrictions. The only scenarios that I see it being worth it are as safe places to store your emergency funds. But even then, products like Stashaway Simple or fixed price funds offered by Amanah Saham are way better choices. So if you have a lot of money sitting in fixed deposits right now, I strongly recommend you reconsider your options. So if you have any opposing views, feel free to leave it down in the comment section and let's discuss it. If you found the video useful, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more personal finance content. As always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!